Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 757, and at the same time, it's a day number 757, which means this is the exact number of consecutive days that this project exists for, and every single day of those 757 days, I was able to write a blog post and record the podcast, which is unbelievable at the moment for me. Of course, there are people that are very consistent, and it's very easy for them to achieve something when they set the schedule and they will follow it. But from a procrastinator perspective, doing something like a challenge that I set for myself for 757 days without hiccup or day off is something to be proud of, I think. So it's a journal. I am journaling about the previous day, so I give you updates about what is happening, my thoughts, what I discovered, or maybe what I used, what I failed at, and what I succeeded at. So it's not the sexiest and most entertaining content, but I really appreciate everyone that did subscribe so far and are following my journey. So let's get straight to it. This update is about Sunday, the end of 18th week of us operating new small business based on mobile sauna on the trailer that we deploy to the beach, and we allow people to book sessions so they can stay in the sauna, they can go to the ocean and take a cold water dip and then come back and heat themselves up. They can book a slot of 30 minutes or 60 minutes, depending on how long they want to use the sauna for. And the slot is not the time that you can use in the sauna, but it's just a slot in time during which you can do whatever you want, including the sauna. So you can go to the ocean and spend 20 minutes there and then 10 minutes in the sauna, and that's half an hour. So it's not like you can spend an hour going in and out and just kind of 10 minutes chunks in the sauna. Albeit it wasn't very clear, so we needed to explain that to a couple of clients, which was fine. But this is just an adjustment that needs to be done sometimes. And this business is operating since June, but we really started operating day to day at Rosnaula from 1st of July. So while we operate, I think 18 or 19 weeks, I think 18 weeks now, 19 weeks, I believe, we really don't count the first 3 or 4 weeks. I still track them, but we don't consider them as very reflective of our revenue and operations, because we operated only 3 to 4 days around the weekend, and it was between Rosnala and Merva, so it was a lot of testing and not a proper operation that you could track and see any patterns or analyze. So this week was very, very quiet, and we were afraid that we might not even reach or kind of equalize the first weeks of testing, which would be very bad. And it was going very, very quiet for most of the days. On Saturday, we've got a little bit of traction, and it gave us hope that we might actually get it beyond the worst week at Rosnala, which was, I think, 15th or something like that, and 14th. And indeed, it was going okay. And on Sunday, we obviously deployed sauna in the morning, and it really got traction. So the Sunday became quite busy, even though the weather was really overcast and was chilly, but it was dry and maybe a bit uninviting. But for some reason, people decided to kind of use the Sunday for sauna, and indeed we crossed the last spot, the worst week at Rosnavla, which means that we crossed or kind of passed the 3, 4, or 5 worst weeks all time. And we brushed against the third last. So it's second last, I believe, in terms of Rosnavla, which gives it a 14th place in the rating that I am kind of tracking. So we brushed barely against the next spot. So it wasn't the worst revenue, but it also was quite low. But thanks to that Sunday morning and evening, we landed okay. And the only thing that really happened in between was the lunchtime, where we went to Humble in Bundoran, and we were hoping to get nice specials that they had. So we were really hungry. We were having some expectations to get the special of the week. But not only we arrived in the probably one of the most busy times and crowded moments, which was already not very pleasant, then it turned out that they ran out of they sold out the specials, so we couldn't order them. So Elizabeth had to search for something that she can eat, and she took harissa eggs with potatoes and whatever fancy stuff that was there, and I took my traditional Korean battered burger, and it was okay, but Elizabeth's food was lukewarm at best, and you could see that it wasn't made of fresh ingredients, which is surprising for that place. We weren't expecting it. We usually get good food there, but this time it was terrible for her. Mine was okay. It was acceptable. I wasn't bad or anything like that. It could have been, I would say, fresher, but it wasn't. It was still fresh and okay, but not as usually I get there. So a bit of inconsistency on Humble side. So I don't know what happened, but hey, these mistakes shouldn't happen. So that kind of dropped our morale a little bit before the evening, but in the evening we had a couple of customers, and it was even sunset for a split second, metaphorically speaking, for a couple of minutes just before sun was setting. The overcast cleared in the horizon, so we got a little gap between the clouds, and the colors came out and the sun was shining. So it was amazing sunset, and people that came for the sunset sessions got their surprise. So it was great to have it in the end. And that was really it. Elizabeth took an hour of the sauna session in the dark when it was already pitch black. So it was a nice end of the weekend, and we drove home, watched a bit of Supernatural with Julian, and went to bed. So that's it. Thank you very much for being here and following the journey. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, or evening. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.